Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're diving into the Upside Down and looking back at some of the most disturbing and terrifying scenes the party has had to face on Stranger Things, leading up to and including Season 5, Volume 1. Expect huge spoilers ahead, and maybe watch this one with the lights on. Number 20. Will and Vecna in the Upside Down. The final season of Stranger Things is about bringing the story full circle. As such, the season goes back to the beginning when Will Byers was dragged into the Upside Down. Utilizing some of the better de-aging effects of recent memory, a 12-year-old Will attempts to survive the perilous environment he's been thrust into. The Demogorgon is only the beginning of Will's issues. Falling from a tree, there's nowhere left to run or hide as Will meets Vecna face to face. The fact that young Will managed to put up a fight at all goes to show that he's stronger than Vecna thinks. That said, we can see more than ever why Will has been living with psychological turmoil for the past few years.
Such beautiful things.
Number 19. The Demogorgon attacks the Wheelers. When the Demogorgon opened a gate into Holly Wheeler's bedroom at the end of the previous episode, we wondered if this might be a vision or a nightmare. That's what Karen Wheeler assumes as Holly comes in screaming.
There's a monster in the monster.
Holly! Whatever you saw, baby, it's just a nightmare.
No, Mom!
Once Karen notices the blood on her daughter's head, we know that this is happening. The Wheeler parents have mostly been played for laughs, pretty much oblivious to the supernatural shenanigans their kids get into. It is jarring not only to see them in legitimate danger, but also fighting back. Despite their best efforts, a golf club and a wine bottle are no match for a Demogorgon. Karen in particular proves resilient, but Holly is ultimately taken, with her parents left in critical condition. Number 18. Billy and Heather's creepy behavior. Billy is possessed by the Mind Flayer at the beginning of the third season. He captures fellow lifeguard Heather to serve the Mind Flayer, which is witnessed by Eleven when she uses her powers to spy on Billy. However, when Eleven and Max arrive at Heather's to rescue her, we're treated to the last thing anyone would expect.
I'm sorry. Janet, Tom, this is my sister Maxine.
Oh!
What on earth are you doing here? There's something wrong?
Billy and Heather behave a bit too perfectly. So much so that their welcoming attitudes are just creepy to watch.
Heather wasn't feeling so hot today, so we thought we'd take the day off to nurse her back to health. But you're feeling just fine right now, aren't you, Heather?
I'm feeling so much better.
The tension in the scene is hanging by a thread, as it looks like Billy and Heather could attack the girls at any moment.
And I'm sorry, I did not quite catch your name.
Elle.
Elle. Now, what is it you were saying, Elle?
Billy's demeanor is in striking contrast to his usual brash style, and watching him behave so calmly indicates that things are far from okay. Number 17. The Flayed are melted. The Flayed are the unfortunate victims who are dragged into the Mind Flayer's hive mind. Is there a worse fate than being possessed by a ghoul from another dimension?
Go to hell!
Yes, actually, as their monstrous master forces them to consume various chemicals, and that's just the start. When the time was right, these puppets would be melted down into nothing but puddles of flesh, uniting to create a new proxy body for the Mind Flayer. If you're unfortunate enough to be chosen by the Flayer, you forsake everything that made you human, becoming another liquefied cog in a rampaging fleshy machine. Honestly, Will got off easy when the Flayer just possessed him.
Jesus. What?
Number 16. Steve is surrounded by demo dogs. There's no doubt that Steve was a big jerk in the first season. But he comes around soon enough to become a loyal friend and helps Dustin search for his pet demo dog, Dart.
Swear to God, man, it's just some little lizard, okay?
It's not a lizard.
How do you know?
How do I know if it's not a lizard?
Yeah, how do you know if it's not just a lizard?
Because his face opened up and he ate my cat.
After locating Dart at a junkyard, Steve volunteers to be the bait to lure him out. This plan is wildly flawed because it turns out that Dart isn't alone. Far from it, actually.
Steve! Watch out!
A little busy here.
3 o'clock! 3 o'clock!
Steve is left out on his own with nothing but a bat to protect him as demo dogs surround him from all sides. After watching him grow into becoming a fan favorite, it's scary to consider Steve biting it in such a gruesome way, although he and the others manage to escape. This moment confirms that no one is safe.
Out of the way! Out of the way! You want some?
Number 15. Hopper's death. The protagonists all band together in the 3rd season finale to stop the villains from opening a portal to the Upside Down. Hopper gets into a tussle with hitman Grigori, putting him in the line of fire when Joyce has to close the portal.
I'll see you in hell.
Although he eliminates Grigori, Hopper has no way back and accepts his fate. Having served as Eleven's father figure and a safe place for fans in general, it's heartbreaking to see Hopper helpless with no way out. We all expected the heroes to save the day as always, only for Hopper's disappearance to serve as a heavy dose of reality.
And when life hurts you, because it will, remember the hurt. The hurt is good. It means you're out of that cave.
Fortunately, it turns out he wasn't quite so dead after all. Number 14. Victor Creel's tragedy. When several murders start popping up in Hawkins, Nancy and Robin visit a mental hospital to interview Victor Creel, an eerie inmate whose eyes have been sewn shut. It was believed that Victor had murdered his family. In reality, the real murderer was his son Henry, who used his mental abilities to torture his family.
I could not close off my mind and join in the madness. I could not pretend. And I realized I didn't have to.
He gruesomely murdered his mother and sister and forced Victor to relive his worst memory. In the end, Victor was falsely imprisoned and tried to end his suffering by gouging out his own eyes, but to no avail. Meanwhile, his son was later mutated into Vecna, the most dreaded monster in the Upside Down. Number 13. The Upside Down hurts Will. Midway through the 2nd season, Hopper gets trapped in the tunnel leading to the Upside Down. Will's connection to the dimension allows him to envision Hopper as he leads the rescue along with Joyce, Bob, and Mike.
Hopper, are you okay?
Hey, Bob.
Hi, Jim.
However, scientists arrive and set the place ablaze, causing extreme pain to Will. We're forced to watch a long shot of Will screaming in anguish as it's contextualized perfectly by the fire raging in the tunnel. At this moment, this burning flame is exactly what's going on inside Will's body. Actor Noah Schnapp deserves credit for making Will's torment look so real, as the character looks like he could explode at any moment.
Feels like he's burning. Check for burns.
I don't see anything. Where's it hurt the most, Will?
It goes to show that Stranger Things never holds back, even if it means depicting a child in so much pain.
How about now?
It burns. It burns
Where?
everywhere.
Number 12. Joyce is attacked by the Demogorgon. Stranger Things has a knack for delivering scares even if we know it's coming.
Hello. Who is this? Will?
Not long before Barb's encounter with the Demogorgon, the monster targets Joyce. It takes place after Will's disappearance, as Joyce begins to receive phone calls from her son.
It's me. Talk to me. I'm here. Just tell me where you are, honey. I can hear you. Please.
Her momentary relief at hearing Will's voice turns to horror when supernatural events begin to take form in her house. There's a sense of foreboding as things in the house abruptly flicker on and off right before Joyce's eyes.
Should I cool it or should I blow? Should I stay or should I go now? If I go, there will be trouble.
This apprehension comes into play moments later when the wall starts to twist and distort. The Demogorgon attempts to come for Joyce, who is smart enough to run for her life. Number 11, Terry Ives' torment. When we first meet Eleven's mother, Terry Ives, it was a heartbreaking sight. She was shown in a catatonic state, only muttering a few seemingly nonsensical words.
Breathe. Sunflower.
When Elle looks into her history, it's an utter nightmare. It turns out that Terry was experimented on while pregnant, which explains Elle's powers.
He was there. Who was there?
He took her.
Oh.
Terry,
Don't take out Terry! No!
Dr. Brenner then abducted the child to raise her in the lab to be his tool. When Terry tried to save her daughter, it was the biggest mistake of her life. She was caught and dragged into the lab where Brenner subjected her to several electroshock treatments, completely destroying her brain. A heavy price to pay for going against Brenner's agenda. Number 10, Eddie's graduation. When will we learn not to get too attached to secondary characters?
Not bad at all.
Now for the fun part.
Fans fell in love with Eddie Munson for his quirky personality and sympathized with his guilt for being afraid of Vecna. After performing an epic guitar solo to distract Vecna's demo bats, Eddie confronts them head-on to allow Dustin a chance to escape. He faces the flying demons like a champion, but also falls like one as the bats swarm him from all sides and gruesomely overpower him. In the aftermath of the battle, Dustin rushes to Eddie's side and tearfully watches as he succumbs to his wound, finally proving himself to be the hero we all needed.
Does it magically graduate? I think it's my year, Henderson.
Number 9, The Exorcism of Will Byers. Poor Will Byers can never catch a break. As if being trapped in the Upside Down throughout Season 1 wasn't bad enough, now he's become a vessel for the Mind Flayer.
He likes it cold.
What?
That's what Will kept saying to me. He likes it cold. We keep giving it what it wants.
The only way to set him free is to subject him to extreme heat, but the Flayer won't make it easy. Seeing Will writhe and scream in agony is unsettling, and at one point, the Flayer forces him to start strangling his own mother. Desperate, Nancy burns him with a red-hot fire poker, and the Flayer finally flees from Will's body, violently pouring out of his mouth. While the ordeal was horrific, we all breathed a massive sigh of relief seeing Will free from the monster's control.
Will!
Number 8, Max's coma. You'd think Max had been through enough after losing her brother Billy and her conflicting emotions. But in Season 4's finale, her suffering almost came to an end in the worst way.
It's time.
She acted as bait for Vecna to try and end his terror. He waited until she was at her most vulnerable, and then he made his move, subjecting her to terrifying hallucinations before breaking her limbs one by one. While Elle stopped Vecna from delivering the killing blow, Max's heart momentarily stopped, allowing Vecna's grand plan to come to fruition. Thankfully, Elle managed to restart her heart, while Max was left blind and comatose. Sadly, this proved that not even the main characters are safe from Vecna's curse.
Her heart stopped for over a minute. She died.
Number 7, the fake Will Byers. After half a season of searching, it looks like Will Byers has finally been found, having drowned to death. However, something about this doesn't feel right, so Hopper decides to investigate. He visits the corpse down at the morgue, and after some heavy hesitation, he cuts into the body. After one unsightly slice, we are chilled to the bone when we realize the truth. This Will Byers is a fake. The scientists at Hawkins Lab made the decoy to cover up their mistake. Meanwhile, the real Will had been abducted by the Demogorgon into another dimension. While it's reassuring to know that Will is alive, one can only imagine how difficult it was for Hopper to try this gruesome experiment. Number 6, Barb is captured by the Demogorgon. Nancy's best friend Barbara never catches a break during her time on the show.
I'll get a ride or something. Vance. Barb. I'm fine. This isn't you.
Shunned by Nancy at a party when she chooses to be with Steve, Barb dies because no one cares to look for her. She sits by the pool by herself, sealing her own fate as a drop of her blood attracts the Demogorgon. The monster mercilessly drags Barb away to its realm, while she cries for help in vain. The scariest part has to be Barb's last few moments.
Nancy? Nancy? Hello?
The Demogorgon pretty much plays with its food by tormenting Barb for what becomes a painful demise. Her fate is confirmed in frightening detail a few episodes later, when Eleven comes across Barb's corpse in the Upside Down.
Is she okay?
Number 5, Steve and Robin's interrogation. While we've seen many deaths in Stranger Things, a slow torture isn't something fans were ready for. When Steve and Robin are captured in the villain's base, the two are interrogated.
Who do you work for?
For the millionth time, I work at Scoops Ahoy! Scoops Ahoy. Oh, what the hell?
Unfortunately, the bad guys don't believe the truth of them stumbling into the base, and they resort to brutalizing Steve. In rather excruciating detail, Steve is beaten until he's left a bloody mess. Although some comedy is injected when Steve and Robin become delirious from a botched truth serum, the scene is largely about the pair's punishment. The few laughs that were there evaporate quickly when torture equipment comes into play.
What is that shiny little toy? Whoa, whoa. Hey, see, hey, whoa, wait, no, wait.
There was a code, we heard a code!
Fortunately, Dustin and Erica come to the rescue, preventing this from becoming a disturbing end for Steve and Robin.
That's crazy. I was just talking about you.
Oh my God. Get ready to run.
Number 4, What Have You Done? The opening sequence for Season 4 really set the bar for how grim this chapter would be.
What have you done?
Nearly every child in Hawkins Lab is lying dead with broken limbs and bleeding burnt eyes. And before the credits roll, it looked like 11 was the murderer. A few episodes later, however, we learn the horrifying truth. The real murderer was 1, aka Henry Creel.
I asked you to wait.
He manipulated Elle and slaughtered nearly everyone in the facility with his powers. Enraged, Elle faced him one-on-one, overpowered him, and shoved him through the first gate to the Upside Down. Little did she know that her actions would finalize Henry Creel's transformation into Vecna, and that he would return to make all of Hawkins suffer again.
They're still with me. In here.
Number 3, Demo Dogs overwhelm Bob.
It's okay. It's gonna be okay. Remember Bob, newbie. Superhero.
Most Most fans feel Bob was just too pure for this world, and his last act is to save his friends. Too bad he goes out in absolute agony. When the protagonists are trapped in Hawkins Lab, Bob volunteers to reset the power to allow the rest to escape.
How about you, Doc? You speak basic? No. Okay, I got this.
In the following anxiety-ridden scene, Bob maneuvers around the demo dogs out to hunt him. The relief of his success is short-lived as the demo dogs pick up on his presence. There's another hopeful spot when it seems like everyone's escaped. But when a demo dog jumps out of nowhere for a well-executed jump scare, Bob's doom is sealed. The show kills off the nicest character it's ever had, and it doesn't help that we see the demo dogs feeding on his body. Number 2, the Demogorgon's abduction of Will. Stranger Things needed a big, hard-hitting scene to establish itself as a horror series, and this is the one to do it. Will finds himself being stalked by an unknown figure, later revealed to be the Demogorgon. Since Will acts as the audience surrogate, we feel helpless as the moment gradually increases in intensity. His attempts at hiding and calling for help prove useless, and the tension reaches its tipping point before Will's abducted. We don't see it happen, but the mystery is what makes this so scary. Although it's left to the viewer to imagine what happened to Will, it's also clear that the Demogorgon has nothing but bad intentions for him. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Vecna's terror begins. For his big debut in Season 4, Vecna wasted no time establishing himself as the most fearsome threat the party has ever faced.
Chrissy! Chrissy, wake up now! Chrissy!
Don't cry, Chrissy.
Right off the bat, we see him tormenting young Chrissy Cunningham, forcing her to endure horrific hallucinations and face her insecurities brought on by her mother.
Absolutely beautiful.
Finally, he'd end her misery by violently twisting and breaking her body with his mind. But that wasn't the end of it, as he'd later subject Fred Benson to the same fate after playing with his survivor's guilt. From here on out, the series embraced its new horror narrative, with Henry Creel as the murderous mastermind. What do you think was the party's darkest hour? Let us know in the comments.